minds debate the future. From tax cuts to border walls, strategies clash like a political rally. Frustration brews in the chambers. As always, meet new challenges. Dissenting voices rise up, seeking unity, but finding divides. We stand strong, we stand tall. In this party, our spirit will not fall. Though the path is rocky and long, we march forward with hearts full of song. Policies debated, votes cast in the shadows.
All right.
Yeah, this is Rebel Republic. What's amazing is how many, if we let that play through, how many verses to the song are there exactly?
3.
Oh, there are 3. Okay. It's amazing. You wrote 3 good songs. And they're being downloaded on Spotify.
Rebel Republic has over 100 downloads 2 days ago on Spotify.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, it's all because of the great programming I produce. So anyway, the voice of reason is next to me and Coach Schumann.
Yo.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about the historic ceasefire that just came to fruition between President Trump, the Middle East, involving Iran and, is Israel. That's a pretty big deal there.
Huge deal.
Yeah, well, we talked about it last week, and Iran was upset, or Israel was upset that Iran may have nuclear weapons pointed at them. No, that's not what it was.
You're making a big mistake right off the bat. It's not Iran, it's Iran.
Iran.
It's Iran.
Okay.
That's
the Iman of Iran.
When you say Iran, all I think of is a flock of seagulls. And I ran.
Well,
I ran so far away.
Well, they're calling it the 12-day war.
Right.
It's the end of the 12-day war.
Of course.
Iran says it won't back down until Israel stops first. Dave, do you see this happening, knowing that you're you're part Jewish? I know you're born again, but you're still
he's a born again Jew.
You still have Judaism is in you. It's in you. I mean, you're probably uncircumcised, so let's go.
Wait, wait, Frank.
What? Frank circumcised?
Ding, ding, ding! Another gay moment from Steve Collins.
Steve, he is
the circumcision. That's
is,
just pointing out a
It
mere
comes
fact.
out of the woodwork.
That's a mere fact.
The closet is not big enough for Steve to walk out of right now.
That's a mere fact. Jewish people don't get circumcised. Or no, they do. They're called
bris.
It's called a bris.
They're bris.
Are you circumcised?
Yeah, I'm circumcised. Yeah.
So you're Jewish?
Circumcised. No, I'm Catholic, but I got circumcised. I didn't want to have an anteater. So this 12-day thing, it was a pretty big war, caused a lot of attention, a lot of attraction. People were pissed about it. Do you see?
Who was pissed about it?
Well, I mean, Americans, the left,
the far right,
the communists, Bernie Sanders, Matthew McConaughey, George Clooney, a lot of people. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, George Clooney, all those people were angry. So, do you think that we are seeing like this is going to happen? Like this is going to be the end?
The end of what? Iran? It's not going to be the end.
The war, you ass fuck the war. Is it going to be the end of the war?
Well, first of all, hold on. So,
is there going to be a ceasefire?
I think there may be. Isn't that what they just said happened?
Yes, but do you think it's going to last? Do you think that it's going to last long term?
Do any of these ceasefires last?
They last like every 10 years. Then they go to war again. I know this.
The hope is that it will start to get negotiations. The Ayatollah is on the run,
right?
Yeah. Or hiding, or wherever he is.
Yeah, he's got a nice beard, though. I'll give him that.
The regime change is going to be there is regime change. If it may not be regime change, But if there becomes regime change, the question becomes, what regime is it? You don't know. And then if there's not regime change, okay, and it's the Ayatollah or one of the other what do they call them, the mullahs or the
Mullahs.
the mullahs. If it's one of the other mullahs that becomes the leader, then you're going to see Iran possibly try to continue to figure out a way to get nuclear war capabilities. Now, the United States wants, and I'm sure Israel's okay with it, Iran to focus more on nuclear capabilities to help their people, meaning energy, not nuclear warheads. So,
right.
That's where people are always like, "Oh, how does this keep happening?" That's what happens. Iran says we're going to use it to make energy, and then they make a warhead. You can't trust. You can't trust that statement. So
no.
United States under Trump, because obviously Trump is going to be in for 4 years, and hopefully we have a conservative like Vance in or somebody like that after.
I think he'll write an executive order and get his way for 8 years.
Can't do that.
Well, he can do whatever he wants.
No, he can't do
get
that.
his way for what?
He'll find a way.
Another 4 years of election.
He'll write an executive order.
It's not going to happen. It's going to be Vance. It's going to be the guys who are running. It's going to be Vance. It's going to be either Vance, DeSantis, Rubio. Yeah. Rubio is one of those three guys are going to be the.
But I don't understand why he can't. Why can't he write an executive order?
Because that has been put in stone.
It's in legislation. But it was
that would
before
have to be
that.
Congress. No, it wasn't before that.
No, you're right. It wasn't. It was just
Congress would have to change that law, and that will never happen.
You don't think they will?
Especially with him in office.
Yeah.
There's no love for him in office.
No, I know. Well, he's doing a lot.
I think what you're seeing here right now is I'll be very surprised. I know that Trump made this announcement and said, 12-day war, and they'll still keep firing rockets at each other until this is sign number one. But I'll be surprised if in this peace treaty, that the Ayatollah would still be allowed to be in charge. You said that before. I think they would have to eliminate the heads of of the religious state and get them out of politics for the treaty to be signed. I can't see that being signed by Israel or Donald Trump. My thing is, this is never about nuclear weapons. I'll still say it to this day. This whole fight, argument, bombing, it's never about nuclear weapons. It's not. Bottom line, this is about Israel. Months ago, Netanyahu meeting with Donald Trump.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Met with Donald Trump, and he probably told us, President Trump, we're fighting wars on all sides. We're fighting Hezbollah in the north. We're fighting Hamas in the south.
Yeah.
We're fighting missiles from Yemen, from the Houthis.
Yeah. Kuwait.
And I think we mentioned this last week's show too. We've got to finish this off and to stop all these
Tyler
proxies.
Was the one who said this.
I was the one that said this. To stop the proxies, we have to cut off the money. The money is coming from Iran.
Right.
Iran. Okay.
Iran.
So Iran's funding all these proxies to go after not only the Israelis, but also other sects of Arab groups that are out there that don't agree with them and don't fit into their thought process. So the way to cut off the money is to overthrow the government.
And that's what Tyler said. Tyler said they needed a less fundamentalist government.
Right. But what my theory is, if this religious driven administration for Iran does not leave, then I think you're going to see a civil uprising funded by the CIA and the Mossad.
Correct.
So they'll start pouring in millions of dollars to
fund one side or the other.
No, not one side or the other. To fund the Iranian youth that would organize to try to overthrow the government. Exactly.
Right. And to our top political correspondent's credit, Tyler King, he said that.
Yep.
He said we want a less fundamentalist government in place there.
Right.
So he was correct,
Sure,
in his assessment. Dave, what are your thoughts on the situation? Do you think that Iran will back down? Do you think they'll adhere to the ceasefire? Do you think that peace will eventually get signed into treaty, into paper, pen to paper, and it will end?
That's
Or do you think it's just lip
all
service
fast.
right now?
I think there will be a time period that it will be able to happen. I think if there is regime change, possibly. The toughest part is we don't know exactly how the people of Iran feel, because
Yeah.
if you look at the streets, they're protesting against America, but you also know that that's obviously going to be allowed. They're not going to be able to protest against Iran. So it's not like America where we allow everyone to protest against us. So
we fly them in.
we fly them in and we say, "Oh, you want to hate us? Go ahead. What flag are you sporting today?" Oh, all right. The flag of the island of the Arctics. Perfect.
Yes.
But I mean, you have to be surprised at the speed at which this has happened.
Yeah, I am. That's a good point. So
Last week,
well, first of all, Israel, okay, and Israel and America, the anti-Semitism in America is.
Oh, Chris D's on. Chris D says hello, and he says a lot of frauds in MAGA exposed who doubled Supreme. Trump said he was gonna start World War III.
So what I was gonna say is that
I love Chris D.
The level it's I mean, you go and actually you can see it, but the level of anti-Semitism even in America,
it's outrageous.
It's outrageous. So you have, but I actually agree with that. The real MAGA stayed on Trump's side through this course, and
That's what Chris D said.
The false MAGAs, people who are with Trump only when it's
convenient for them.
The Steve Bannons and the Tucker Carlsons. Steve Bannons and the Tucker Carlson.
Well, I'll go right on the list.
What about the Hannity guy?
Hannity's great.
He's out.
Levin's great. Hannity's great. But
Bill Keeler.
Who?
No.
But radio host.
Listen, Tucker Carlson, fraud. Alex Jones, fraud. Those guys are frauds.
You're saying Tucker Carlson is a fraud.
Tucker Carlson has shown his true colors. He's a fraud. Absolute fraud. He's Tucker Carlson. He's for himself.
Yeah.
Alex Jones, he's for himself.
Absolutely.
Frauds. They're fraud. And they thought it was their moment. They thought this was their moment.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson took a swing. He absolutely did.
Carlson took a swing. He tried to align with Alex Jones. They're frauds. Kick them out of the kick. But I in the Middle East too if they want.
I'm playing dumb here. I thought Tucker liked Trump. You're telling me he does not like Trump?
No. He's a fraud. He's
a fraud.
He likes Trump if he does exactly what he thinks he should do.
Okay.
And Tucker Carlson don't know shit from Shiola. He doesn't know anything.
But he's on TV every night.
He has insider access. He don't know shit. Same thing with Alex Jones.
He's not on TV.
Shit against the wall to see if it sticks.
I thought Tucker's on Fox every night.
He's online. No. He got dumped.
He got fired from Fox. Okay. He used to be on with Hannity.
He was going with the whole Russia is good theory on Fox. That's why Fox basically was like,
Russia's not good. Russia bombed Ukraine.
Yeah, but he was saying almost like Russia was in the right. It was. Yeah, I mean the whole Russia-Ukraine, is a different, complicated issue.
Yeah,
a different thing. But like he was doubling down. That's why he got let go at Fox.
Isn't it crazy?
He doubled
the
down
dynamic,
on
yeah,
that.
the dynamics of politics.
That's crazy.
So the dynamics of politics. So everyone follows someone like, yeah, this is great, and then all of a sudden, maybe not every policy goes the way you want it. Like, no, I'm gonna break off. He's terrible.
Yes.
Next guy, no, I'm out of here too. No, I can't do it. I don't understand it because no matter what political affiliation you have, no matter what centrist or far left or far right you are, you're not going to get everything.
No,
you're not going to get everything.
You're not going to get everything.
Well, unless you have a dictator, then you'll get everything.
No,
here's the hardest thing.
I think a dictator could work.
This is where people who have true hatred for Israel, okay, and in some cases, maybe most cases, it's some form of anti-Semitism, but they will support a dictatorship that oppresses people.
Yes.
Over a democracy that allows people to speak freely.
Right.
It's mind-blowing. And they will support a country just because they dislike Israel. They will support a country that it threatens death to America just because they dislike. So to me, this is let's take the fact they're probably anti-Semitic or have some to begin with. Let's take that out. Let's just use democracy. Let's just say country A is a democracy and country B threatens death to America. You don't know the names of that country. Which country is more likely to be your ally? Country A, not country B who says death to America. So that's the some of these people have gone so crazy that they will side with the group that chants death to America. It's absurd. It's ignorant. City streets in New York City.
Very ignorant.
Excuse me, sir. Before you kill me, I just want to say I love you.
It's so ignorant.
Basically,
I don't like the ignorance behind it.
How they treat
How can you be so dumb?
How any woman, women always say, oh, you support Trump, you're misogynist. Yeah, you know what? All you women are out in the streets right now protesting against Israel, protesting and supporting Iran, waving Iranian flags.
They can't even dress in Iran.
Right, no, you have
to be covered up.
How are you supporting that progressively terroristic regime that doesn't allow? Listen, women are so oppressed in that country.
Oh,
because of the religious laws.
They're slaves to the men.
It's beyond belief at what they. You can go look it up. You can do regular Iranian women talking about the persecutions they have to go through in their home country, their native country, that people in this country in America don't even understand. They have
no clue.
They're cheering on that country like, this is fantastic. Yes, we got to support them. The people are great. Yeah, well, the people are the ones that they're holding their own people down.
This is how crazy the people are. The guy who's the leading candidate now for New York City election.
Listen, it's lunacy. He's a Muslim. His thought process, and these young kids are eating it up.
We have someone in New York City who's a Muslim.
What's he running?
He's a communist, Muslim communist.
He could win.
Yeah, listen, he's drawing so much.
Candidate.
Here's what he did.
That's how much they are going.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Get away from
the New York City mayor. You have no influence on that.
Oh, okay.
So bottom line,
Adams. There are things he does well. There are things he doesn't do well. I mean, comparing Adams to this, Adams is would be the way that people think in New York City and other places that are just out of whack. If they put you in a room and they were arguing with me and they would be telling me that, they would call me, I would be called a Zionist. I would be called
what's a Zionist?
They would call me a misogynist.
I need to know what a Zionist is.
A Jewish supporter.
Israel supporter.
Israel supporter. I'm sorry.
Well, that's a good thing. You should support Israel.
Israel has I have to look it up exactly what they.
You're like an extremist Israel supporter.
No. It's like that Israel should be the free state of Israel or Jewish state. Like I
got you.
they use it to try and like make believe. Anyway, but they would call you 9,000 different names, and meanwhile, like if you went over to Iran under current regime, and made even the comments we make where we're joking around about you being gay. If they suspected you, Steve Cully, of being gay, they would throw you off a roof. I mean,
they try. I'm bigger than all of them, so I'd fuck them in the ass.
They would have a hard time moving you.
Yeah.
There's the gay tendency again.
Oh, I'm saying if they think I'm gay, I'll give it to them hard. Yeah, and then I'll throw them.
That's fantastic. Well, you just have to realize right now, the New York City election, or what's that? So it's not an election; it's a primary.
How young is he?
He's in his. I think he's in his 30s, late 30s.
Oh my God! Wow.
If I'm correct, yeah,
he's that young.
Well, he's young, but he's not like really young. I mean,
that's young for a politician. Like 37.
He wants to have public grocery stores in New York City.
He's
basically food rationing.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's 33 years old.
That's communism. Public grocery.
Yeah, and he wants to have public grocery stores run by the state. I've run by the city. Where people get cheaper prices. Guess how many steaks you'll be able to get at that store.
That's communism. That's communist.
Guess what bread lines are going to be? People are going to be around the clock. Oh, we're out of bread today.
Yeah, but here's what he's promising, that the young people they're just rallying around it. I mean,
they are. You're right.
People in their 20s. No, well, people in their 20s in New York City, you got to realize they can't live in New York City in your 20s unless you're really raking.
They can't afford it. Right. I understand.
So what he's done here, so making affordability, rent freeze.
What
he wants to have a citywide rent freeze. So that you can't, as a landlord,
you can't raise rent.
You can't raise your rent, right? Okay.
Well, then they can't
subsidize free busing, right? And free childcare.
You get a free bus ticket,
and free childcare, right? And to open, like you talked about, those city-run food stores.
I want to move to New York City then.
Right. Also, what he wants to do is I know right off the fact. I saw an interview. I watched a little bit of it. In his interview, he said he wants to defund the police department up to $1 billion.
That's smart. I mean,
the
police are bad.
It's a $6 billion a year budget for the police department.
Yeah,
he wants to take away almost 20% of that.
Yeah, all they do is write parking tickets.
And they want to go back and put in those. What we talked about, those therapists. The counselors,
the social, mental health.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they'll be in.
So he's got about a $10 billion.
He's got a good plan.
He wants to increase the taxes on the rich, obviously, and the corporations.
You got to tax the rich, tax the hell out of them.
Yeah, exactly. He also wants to do gender affirming care. $65 million in taxpayer funds.
With gender affirming care?
Yeah, for trans patients. You know what I mean? Including minors. Minors under 18, you need a surgery or you need
gender affirming.
Absolutely.
Care. So if I say that I'm a female, that's gender affirming care, and my surgery will be paid for.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to change your gender, absolutely. He wants to, he wants to put.
Wow, he's very radical.
He needs to have a city office dedicated to the LGBT community.
A city office.
Yeah, absolutely.
People support this guy.
Yeah, they love the young one. Now, here's the thing.
Well, because young people can't think for themselves.
Andrew Cuomo is also running for the mayoral slot as well.
Oh, he's
making
Cuomo.
A comeback.
Yeah, he's got to go. He should win.
He's the national groper.
Well, he's like Wiener. Wiener ran.
Yeah, so
he almost won.
What's happening now is there's a cap of, I think, $8 million in the New York City mayoral election that you can raise through funds and through small donations and regular. So you
need to donate to
unless you have money coming from PACs, from organizations outside that. So Cuomo has.
What's a PAC?
It's a political active committee. So
it's just a committee of people that raises money.
Right.
Okay.
And so what they've done. So now Andrew Cuomo is taking in millions from these PACs, where Zoran doesn't have it, and now he's trying to get the rule changed where he can't use the money or can raise more than
I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah, but
he should get a change.
But what my thing is this: it's too much of a pipe dream. Number one. that all these things are going to come true for all these young kids.
Well, the
that are
elections
going to
in 2026.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Too soon. It can't happen in a city like New York City. You can't flip the switch on that. Okay.
No.
It takes a long time.
No, that's a lot.
Number two, and I'm going to sound, maybe I'm sounding religiously racist.
Well, you are. So,
but bottom line, if there is a radical Muslim, okay, in office in New York City, you will see New York City slowly develop into how the rest of Europe has developed in large cities like London, and large cities like Stockholm, and and Berlin.
But that was their plan.
I guess that's
they plan to come over, procreate,
but it's not their own. No, not procreate. What I'm saying is they instill lax liberal laws both on the political side, social side, socioeconomic, and on the law enforcement side
to get their people in.
That allows communities of Muslims to form, right, and to actually segregate that community for just Muslims,
right,
and it becomes an actively militant community, right, and they're trying to spread their religion, and their
Sharia
beliefs.
law.
Even just if it's not Sharia law,
the Quran.
They're trying to spread their beliefs, okay, to every person they can. And I think that's what this country, if this country thinks,
Mormons do,
they need to be afraid. We need to be afraid in this country of that.
I agree. Yeah.
We don't need to be afraid of pollution or gas or
the wildfires,
global warming.
What about the wildfires?
We need to be afraid of something that is going to start to spread into this country that will affect how we believe.
New York
City
in freedom, the largest city in the country.
Because there is no freedom or train of thought that you could have that would be supported anymore if there's a Muslim majority, okay, that pervades your country.
So you're telling me that there could be a Muslim majority in New York City now?
I'm not saying right now.
Get to that.
I'm saying these are the small steps
that they're taking.
And I'm not. Listen, can a Muslim be New York City mayor? I think without a doubt. Can a radical Muslim who wants to change? No, I disagree.
No.
That cannot happen to New York City.
No,
and that will happen to New York City if he's elected. You will see more of a Minnesota, okay, run city.
Oh,
okay.
God.
And again, I'm sounding racist. I'm sounding like I'm throwing religion on the bus, and I'm not. I'm just telling you.
But that's what's going to happen.
The blueprints are there.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Europe is the blueprint.
Those who don't see history are deemed to repeat it. There was a guy who had that.
Europe is the blueprint right now throughout every country in Europe. Okay,
and the frauds in MAGA. A lot of frauds in MAGA exposed who doubted Supreme Trump, and he was gonna start World War III.
That's the same one you just read.
Oh,
okay. So
all right, it came up again.
Europe is a blueprint, Dave. We've seen this. We've seen how each country in Europe has progressed to welcoming immigrants in by the tens of thousands to millions.
Millions?
Okay? Millions. To allowing those said immigrants to be able to almost set up their own state of law in their neighborhoods.
Yes. They segregate.
Where police now are afraid to even go in.
Because they say they're sovereign nations. They're sovereign.
That's not the case. So the case is that they want to keep everyone out that's not them.
Right.
Okay. So now you're having large pockets of corruption, violence,
big time.
Because they're third world.
They're operating
third world, and they're used to different governing laws. They're used to no laws. They're used to doing what they want. They're used to Sharia law. You want to grab a girl by the ass? It's totally fine.
Right.
Right.
You own them.
You want to rape your wife? Totally fine.
Right.
Right. So and I'm just putting small examples out there. Right. But this is what's happening throughout Europe. We already have the blueprint to look at. There's a rise now.
It's coming here.
There's a rise now in nationalism. Wow. Nationalist groups all throughout Europe. The neo-Nazis are rejoining and regrouping in Germany. I'm telling you right now.
Neo-Nazis are true?
That's true. I'm telling you right now. That's true. You're seeing pockets of white resistance now building up to defy the way that they have been invaded over the last 15 to 20 years in their homelands. England especially. England has risen up to the point where they have great support throughout the country as far as curbing or stopping immigration.
What about that Tony Blair guy?
No, Tony Blair's got nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay.
There's I forget the guy's name. I want to say it's Robinson, who leads the nationalist party or group that is sort of anti-immigration, anti-Muslim in a big way. Not anti-Muslim for the religion, not anti-Muslim for the religion, but for the way that they implement their tactics throughout their neighborhoods and are slowly but surely taking over English land to where it's not English land anymore. It will be Muslim land. These are facts. I'm not making anything up.
No,
each country in Europe,
scary.
Each country in Europe is going through this right now, and each country in Europe is on a teetering point. They're on a tipping point. Okay, it could go one way or another. It could go one where they preserve the nationality of their country and integrate those immigrants. See, the problem is these immigrants don't want to be integrated.
No, they're fundamentalists.
They don't want to be integrated. They want to come in and do what they want. And they don't want to abide by the laws and the rules of the country that they're in.
No.
And that's what's slowly going to seep into this country if we continue to elect people to elected positions, right?
Where they have that capability.
Where they have the capability of restructuring, retooling the law, retooling the thought process, retooling the systemation of living in the communities that they control.
So is this something that Griffo will be able to speak on?
I don't know. I don't know how far Joe gets into that. I mean, he's a state senator. He gets into a lot of, central New York, his region, the policies again.
Yeah.
Granted, he fights for statewide budgets, obviously. We could propose it to him. I'll bring it up to him. I'll see what his thoughts are.
I'm just curious.
As a politician,
this is scary to me.
As a politician, he's not going to be able to come out and say what we say here.
No, he's not.
He's not going to back that.
He's not going to keep everyone happy.
He has to be in the public eye. He has to serve the entire public, not just one segment of it.
Right.
But if I'm totally wrong on this, I apologize. I may be off. I'm not. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. In looking at it, and I'm being honest, I'm being truthful. I'm not pulling out any
I know
lies.
This has happened in Europe. I know it happened in France.
And it's happening here too, in smaller pockets, in certain sections of this country. It's starting to get, and I don't care what it looks like. Listen, I go to Atlanta. I'm a minority in Atlanta. Dave, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Dave, I mean, do you think this carries water? Does this worry you? Does this concern you?
I'm concerned.
Muslim fundamentalists could gain this much power?
I'm surprised by that in New York City. Yeah. But not surprised. Obviously, I mean, you see the level of protesting and everything.
We're stupid.
New York City is not New York City that I lived in 2000.
No.
Okay, it's not the same place. It's not the same place. Even
it's not a melting pot.
15 years ago, it's not the same place. It's not. So it's a different. It's
a different demographic. It's a different age group.
COVID changed it a lot.
Yeah. And the cost of living's way up, and it's just not a good place.
It's not the place it once was. It's
But that's really concerning that all this could transpire within a year. That this man
a lot
could
of
be
people who used to live in New York City, in Staten Island, in Brooklyn, in Queens, that may have been able to fight against this stuff, that may have been there's not that many conservatives in New York City, but we're more middle of the road. They are gone. They have moved. They have left. They do not live in New York City anymore. So what's left is, yes, people who can afford it, who are massively wealthy in Manhattan. Okay. Young people who are living with 5 other people. That's who live there. Those are pretty easy. They're very easy to radicalize.
That's just reality.
That's very easy to radicalize those people. They hang out in coffee shops and have no direction, play video games. And then you have people who have lived in New York City their whole entire life that are much older. Maybe they live in Brooklyn, maybe they live in Staten Island, and they're not out there fighting politically against these kind of groups. So that's what you have. and New York City is a different place because of that. It's when people go into the city now, people used to work and live there. That used to be that was a big thing. Now a lot of it is people commute in there and get the hell out, right? So that's and that's changed New York City. Now that's what creates a vacuum of opportunity. A vacuum of opportunity that allows a fundamentalist group to come in because you don't have the same type of people that are still in there. Just like there are vacuums of opportunity out in Michigan, out in Minnesota, and those opportunities where there were either very depressed areas or vacuums of leadership where they were very soft, like in Minnesota, and whole communities got taken over, and that became an opportunity for large groups of people to move in, and then you get some radicals that end up being a part of that group. And once you have a few radicals that are a part of the group, even if the whole lot is 90% of the lot is not radical, if you once that starts to spread, it becomes a thing where, like you see in Minnesota, like if you saw some of these people are covered, like once that ideology, think about it. If you're a man, okay, and you're a Muslim man, and your wife is no longer has a say in what she has to do under Sharia law, and she's your property. And you could leverage the religion for that. You could. There's very little that women can do in that situation.
Yeah,
and the men absorb all the power because it becomes an ego thing. Many years, one of my when I used to travel all over the country, my driver was a Muslim guy, and he was a great guy. But
very respectful.
Very respectful. He was a great driver. Me and him used to have the greatest conversations. Okay. And we would talk about all this stuff. This is long before it was really, it was obviously there's always issues in the Middle East, but long before the whole, this whole movement on against Israel and whatnot. And he was against Israel. We used to discuss the stuff. We would discuss it openly. He'd be driving me, and he'd drive me 2 hours.
But he wouldn't take it personal. You could have an open discussion with him.
Personal, but I knew that he wasn't a bad guy. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like he wasn't going to go and do anything. But I remember his wife. This is my point. His wife came over from, I can't remember where she was from. Maybe it was Egypt, but she came over, and he would tell me that she was Americanized, and it was driving him crazy.
He would tell you this?
Yes, he would tell me it, and he's like, I don't know what to do.
Someone saying Trump 28, USA. I agree with you. Trump should be in office. Go ahead.
But I thought it was interesting because it bothered him a lot. He felt like his wife should be in line. He felt like his wife should be in line. This guy was a good guy. Honestly, if you fundamentally, he was a good guy. Okay. Right. But the value system that is taught to him on the Quran he was struggling with it. We would talk to me about it. I tried not to give him honestly any opinion. I just tried to listen to him.
You can't.
I tried to listen to him, and and I didn't want him to get
whatever you say is going to be wrong.
In Iran,
whatever you say is wrong.
In Iran, if you're a female, you can't be a judge. You
can't even vote.
If you're a female, they believe, Iranian men believe that you have half a brain. This is coming from an Iranian woman that I watched an interview on.
That's true. Yeah.
Half a brain. So let's say you witness a murder. You're a woman.
You can't testify.
No, you can. You have to bring 2 other women there to be able to back your story as robbery because you only have half a brain. If it's a guy, if the man witnesses it, then all he has to do is testify, and he's all set. Because again, women are devalued. You're right, Dave. They are property. They don't have the fundamental
even
rights,
close to the same
even
rights
closer,
that
and
the
even
men
close
do.
to what rights that they have in this country. So,
And it wouldn't have taken much to radicalize the guy who was my driver, in the sense that he was a nice guy. He struggled with the values of America versus the values that he's taught in Islam.
right.
And he would struggle, and he would talk to me because he was asking, because I was obviously an American, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he, and he was trying to like live in the world of America where these two things are conflicting. What
That's
they're
right.
telling him in
Yes.
Islam
That's
is
why
this.
they won't
Yes.
survive, Dave. They'll come to this country in groups. They will not survive because they will not abide by our beliefs.
Correct.
And when that happens, that's when you're going to see conflict, and that's what worries me. That's what I see.
That is scary.
I see the rest. I see this coming. I see this developing now in this country. I think we're the last bastion of society to be able to prevent this. I think what Trump has done to slow down the thought process of how DEI really works, or how liberal policies really work.
Well, DEI
right?
was doing a good job.
Well, no, I'm not. No. When everyone deserves an opportunity, but if you think that you're not getting opportunities now, okay, let's talk education. Every child has an opportunity. Every child goes to school, right?
Some do, yeah.
Some do. Who doesn't?
Most
What child
do.
doesn't go to
I
school?
mean, some parents don't really stay on their kids.
They'll stay on their kids. So if the kid, but is that anyone's fault besides the parent or the kid?
I think it's the parents'
So everyone
fault.
has a fair playing field coming in here.
Yeah. If you don't take advantage of it, yeah.
There's a public school for everybody if you want to go.
Now, public school versus private school or versus charter school, I can understand there are differences there, and that needs to be addressed in a way where it brings the level of education up higher. But bottom line, everyone has that opportunity. Now, what they do with that opportunity, okay, that's another story. And that is much more difficult to control. So things can't be implemented just by flipping a switch. But my thing was that there will be if it comes into this country, and this thought process of devaluing, and this thought process of religious law gets claw into this country, this will be a national struggle that we will see for years, and you will see the rise of right-wing conservative activists that will not take shit, because they're not going to change their way of life for someone else. Someone else can come here and adapt to our way of life. We're not going to adapt to their way of life by them coming in from the outside.
Correct.
And that's the scary part of what I think is coming down the road for us.
I think it's really scary. So Raul Havana is saying, while Trump was working at McDonald's, Kamala was doing Five Guys. Raul Havana says, like the kid who graduated after missing 400 days and failed every class. Well, wasn't that No Child Left Behind deal that Bush passed?
Yeah.
So you had to pass. They couldn't leave you behind.
Yeah. Well, that again.
That was Bush's deal.
But that falls into a category of, why is that law there? That law does not need to be there.
Well, they didn't want like 25-year-olds still in high school.
But that's the parents and the child's problem. That's not the schools. The school, okay, if it's a safe school, if it's a controlled school, okay, and if it's a school that has a good curriculum, that's all that needs to be provided. After that, it's got to be up to the parents and the child.
Yeah, well, of course, the parents have to take charge.
So
I agree.
If they don't, and the child doesn't graduate or doesn't go to class, that's not the school's problem.
So let me ask you this. I know that Cutler's graduating shortly from New Hartford.
Sure.
Is there anything for anyone from New Hartford who's not graduating?
Yes.
You do know?
Yes. Yep. There's a few. There's a few. Yep. There's a few.
We talking actually, 5?
That 10? Actually, not many, but actually a few that left school, would come back, got their GED.
Oh, that's different. So they did get their GED
in their senior year.
There's
but
nobody
they were
that
gone before that. That I don't know. I can't
Okay.
guarantee I know all of that, but I do know some kids that actually had to come back and finish just to get their GED because they had left school, for whatever reasons it may be. Maybe they don't like it.
I don't like school.
Not everyone's built for school.
No, school's tough.
Not everyone's built for school.
You get bullied and
no, but it's not even that.
There's transgenders and
I know guys that were shitty in school, okay, grade wise in their classes.
Yeah, that do great in life.
But when they put something together, they can see it in 2 seconds mechanically.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have an incredible.
That's why you said trade schools are deficient.
They are. We need tons of
people doing it.
And I can't put shit together.
I can't either.
I can break it. I can knock it down. I can shovel it away, but I can't put shit together.
I can't do anything.
And so every person has a value. And now it doesn't have to be a college educated value. Okay, that's overrated.
I don't have value.
But every person has a value. Every person has a place in society. Every person can be successful at something.
I can start the podcast
if they have. Well, they can be successful in something. Okay? If they get the right. If they get the right
party.
Yeah, there's a party.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. There's
if there's the right, everyone can be successful at a party. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but it's just scary to me that
summertime is good, man. Summertime is good.
What is the reality of this happening in 2026?
Yeah,
this Islamic fundamentalist.
It's here. It's on the doorsteps. It's here.
Like, is he in the lead right now, polling wise?
He right now it's a primary.
The primary.
So they're trying to see who will oppose. No, but
and he's a Democrat.
It's early voting right now, but early voting turnout has been huge.
Yeah, because it's
early voting turnout has been huge. This is kind of a good sign for him.
Yeah, because that's how you can fabricate the votes.
Right. Well, no, they're not going to fabricate votes in this. They're going to go by voting, and it's going to be on the up and up.
5 hours ago, I don't know. These polls are always obviously hard to believe.
Yeah.
But, Emerson poll said has Mamdani and Cuomo neck.
Okay.
Cuomo slightly ahead in the first round.
Okay.
Oh, so but Cuomo's the Democrat, right?
What they're doing is they're ranking.
So
they're ranking their candidates 1 through 6 or whatever, 7. I think there's actually 10 or 12, but I think there's only 5 or 6 that matter. So they go in this primary and they have to rank their candidates as to who they would want first, second, third, fourth, fifth, in that order.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. I see.
Why are you grinning, Gabe? I just see a grin on your face. Look, there's the white teeth. You're grinning.
Cutler's the man.
No, he is the man. He is.
He holds clout in the community.
Cutler pulls more ass than a toilet seat. What are you going to do?
Clout in the community.
So you're basically
unity in the community, Dave.
Unity in the community.
So you're basically saying that Cuomo winning this election winning the primary would be a surprise.
No. He's probably the favorite. He's the favorite.
Okay,
correct.
Good.
I'm saying the groundswell of support.
Cuomo would be president right now.
Right now, every young voter will not put their support behind Cuomo.
No, they want the Muslim
because they see him as a groper. They see him as a sexual abuser.
He's just Italian.
They see him as a money bag guy. They see him as getting. No, that's not it. They see him as
getting funded by big sexually abused women.
Sure, he did.
You do?
Absolutely. It's groping everybody, man.
Italians hug and kiss. That's how we are.
14, 15 reports and cases.
Yeah,
it's like everybody else in charge. You get to the top board.
I know. But when am I going to get to the top?
Never. Bottom line. The problem is like this. AOC has given.
Well, she said gays for Palestine.
Sure, that's big. AOC has given a spark to the young radicals.
Yes,
who believe that their vote counts. Most of the time, their vote doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't believe my vote
because they're unorganized. Now they're starting to get some organization together. Social media helps that. It helps drive that. It helps organize that.
And you said that's what the liberals do well.
I think they do it very well.
The GOP does not do well.
I don't think. I think Donald Trump did it very well this time around.
Yeah,
he did it fantastically. Used it, but I think realistically,
the boomers don't know how to do
it. GOP doesn't get their message out. Now Wesley Hunt, I think he gets his. I like his message. I like what's the guy's name from Florida, the congressman. Darnold, or no, what's his name? Byron Donald. I like his message. He gets it out there when he talks on social media, when he talks in interviews and all that.
I don't think AOC can make a run and cake.
Well, no, I don't. Listen, AOC will not. She can run for whatever office she wants to, higher than where she is right now. She's not going to win anything.
No, she's just good eye candy.
But, right, and that helps. But getting up on a podium, be able to scream and yell, and sort of take that young person's mentality state is what she does great, and it's great for rallying the young troops. The young socially active troops, the young liberal troops, the ones that are coming out of college.
Is she supporting the Muslim guy?
No, without a doubt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Wow.
Without a doubt.
So she wants the Muslim guy. Just quickly, I wanted to ask P. Diddy, his trial. It's going to be coming to a close shortly.
Sad.
P. Diddy is, the defense is choosing not to call any witnesses. They're most likely going to go into closing arguments, and whatever happens. I think the prosecution completely overcharged with the RICO charge. I don't think it was a RICO charge. The sex trafficking, I don't think that. I think, if you want to go domestic violence, that sort of thing, fine. I thought RICO and sex trafficking was over the line. I don't think it should have been in federal court.
I thought P. Diddy called. He did call. So he called Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Little John. Did he call all those three of those to come testify?
Yeah, they were on the witness list. Sure.
Yeah. Oh, they were dead though.
Yeah, they're dead.
Oh, okay.
They couldn't make it. They couldn't make it. But Dave, P. Diddy, he's not going to put on a defense. Do you think? I know you probably. We've been talking Karen Reed, and God bless Karen Reed for getting off. She deserves it. David Yannetti, Alan Jackson.
She killed her husband.
She didn't kill her.
Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did.
She did.
100%.
That shows how much you know.
100%.
Robert Alessi, they did a fantastic job defending her. How could she run him over when the medical examiner said he was not hit by a car?
Yeah.
That's what the medical examiner.
Sure.
The prosecution.
Sure.
The prosecution medical examiner said he was not hit by a car.
Right. Yep.
So what is she guilty of?
She ran him over.
How'd she run him over then?
Dead. She ran him over.
How?
She ran him over. The medical examiner doesn't know shit.
Well, then it must be phantom.
He was in he was in the snow for a while.
It must be phantom. It must be phantom.
It froze all the bruises.
Would LeBron wear the maid's outfit if he had to testify? He was asking if LeBron had to wear the maid's outfit
for P. Diddy.
Yeah, for P. Diddy.
Sure, he would.
I think LeBron would look good in a maid's outfit. I mean, it'd be interesting to see.
I'd be shocked. I mean, dude, LeBron is unless something scandalous happens in the next 2-3 years, LeBron is the most stand-up.
No, he's a good guy.
Human being that there is right now.
He
family man, married,
never screwed
kids,
up.
His wife had been. He
did not screw up. He did it right.
I would be shocked. I mean, a lot of these people have gone to these. I'm sure they don't know everything that's going on all there, but I'm sure the freak show goes on in the back, and there's a good handful of people that have been part of it.
Yeah,
and they interviewed everybody they had to interview. What's left to do?
I mean, but P. Diddy actually. I mean, he didn't really do anything. I mean, he just masturbated.
Right. What did he do wrong? What did he do wrong?
He masturbated.
What did he do wrong?
He masturbated.
Right. What else did he do wrong? Did he scare people? Well, he did beat up his girlfriend.
That's what I'm saying. It should have been charged domestic violence.
Yeah. But then he forced people sort of in situations to be.
They were paid escorts.
Well, no. Besides paid escorts, he forced people in a way to, hey, you get this, or you're not going to go here or there. I'm not going to promote your music, or I'm not going to. Yeah, so
he did. But is that against the law?
That's extortion.
Is that like you telling me if I don't get a bowl of sauce, the bucket of sauce, that you're not going to?
You're fired. You won't have a job. You won't have a job. Sodomize. Why does it go to that point?
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
You're not going to have a job.
No, but the point is, P. Diddy got completely overcharged. I do not think it was a federal RICO case. I think it should have been domestic violence, and that should have been it. It's not sex trafficking. The partners willingly did this stuff, and they admitted it on the stand. His mistress, or the girl he was hooking up with, said that she did it because she wanted to make him happy. So that's why I'm saying, like, Dave, do you have any thoughts on this? I know the freak offs. There was baby oil and semen and anal.
I think the issue is going to be proving. The issue is going to be proving.
I mean, he physically didn't do anything besides the beat down of the girl, where he kicked her a few times. Well,
Right.
more than a few times.
That he was making, rape or whatever. That's going to be the difficult. I mean, I don't know how they're proving that because there's nothing yet that's testimony.
It's he said, she said, and the rape charge. I don't even know if he was necessarily charged with rape. He was charged with sex trafficking and the RICO charge. And I don't think it extended to that. I know it extended to different states and different hotels and all that stuff, but I just thought it was way too much for the prosecution to go. Is that really appropriate? Bad Boys for Life. Is that appropriate?
No, nowhere.
Is that appropriate? Is that appropriate?
Did we play this as a March around?
Raul Havana got a Hummer. No, I'd like to say Raul Havana got a Hummer from LeBron's mom in Akron. Good for you, Raul. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank it as a Hummer? Because I don't know. I don't think she would do it properly. I think she would be distracted.
At one point.
No, she wasn't a prostitute, was she?
I think she was.
Well, I can't see. I can't see her giving it.
Mom, no,
she didn't give a good Hummer. There's no way. I mean, I definitely maybe a 2 out of 10. I would say.
Okay.
Straight degenerated.
No, it's not. I mean,
who cares?
Well, we're talking about the P. Diddy trial, Dave Garding. I just wanted to make sure. That's all I wanted to make sure.
We are.
So the reality is, this Islam guy has a very good shot of winning the prize.
Islam guy.
Well, he says he's an Islamic fundamentalist.
He's Muslim. He's Muslim. Yes.
Well, Muslim, whatever.
He's a social fundamentalist right now, but
he's a communist.
Communist, but he has a lot of issues that I feel are way outside of the boundaries of what a city and a mayor can provide. There's no way to do it, especially in New York City.
Does he have a 75% chance of winning the prize?
No.
Okay, no. So it's closer to like 60-40, 50-50.
No, I mean, I still think Cuomo wins. I think maybe he gets, if it's just them two in a primary running off, maybe he gets 35-37% of this.
So, and you would be happy if Cuomo won?
No, but I don't care. To me,
wouldn't be. It's New York City. I think it doesn't affect us.
I think it's. I just think it's. You know what I said. We need to slow down the progression of a religious and social movement that is going too fast in this country, and that is too one-sided in this country. Okay. And where they bypass laws and rules that are in place in this country to keep the country.
Yeah, I just think we need a dictator, to be honest.
Yeah.
Dave, I just wanted to ask you quickly, the Russia-Ukraine thing, Trump solved the Middle East, and that was great.
It's over.
Does he have a chance to fix Russia and Ukraine in the next month or so, you think?
No.
You think he'll turn his attention towards it?
I think he's turning it. He has. I think this is a much more pressing issue.
Really?
Yes.
The Iran-Israel issue is much more pressing than Russia-Ukraine?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, you're talking involvement of oil.
Right.
You're talking involvement of a country that this country backs. We back Israel.
We have to.
Right.
Yes.
And you're talking about terrorist organizations that, if funded properly and supported properly, would be allowed to expand over the next few years in the Middle East, which would not be good for this country.
No, it'd be devastating. It'd be devastating.
This country, you know what, Dave? This country, we can't feed everyone in this country. We can't house everyone.
No, we have shelters.
We can't house everyone. We can't provide medical coverage for everyone.
No, we definitely.
But God damn it, if you need someone killed, you come to us.
Yeah, well, we got good SEAL teams.
We will take care of it, whether it be a 30,000-pound under the ground bomb or whether it be a hit squad.
We're above 300 right now. That's pretty darn good for just.
Yeah, we are. No, we're doing good.
That's really good. That's because I said balls and wieners.
Right.
There's another moment.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, okay? If everything goes as planned, Cuomo wins the mayor in New York,
Sure.
and Trump eventually gets to Russia and Ukraine.
Yes.
Okay. And if Trump solves Russia and Ukraine and Iran and Israel ceasefire and sign treaties, Trump belongs on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
No, I don't think he belongs on Mount Rushmore.
But I mean, he's the greatest president of our generation.
Nobel Peace Prize, maybe Man of the Year.
Okay.
I think this. Dave, you know what? You may be right. I'm saying Mount Rushmore.
We got to get DEI.
I'm not Rushmore. I mean, it's a slight exaggeration, but will he be?
Yeah.
Will
he'll be in the top.
He'll be pretty. He'll be up there.
He's the only guy that I've ever seen. Okay,
he's been impeached twice.
Where a majority of the world is saying, "Hey, please help us, President Trump." You know, a president usually has to take care of his own country first, right?
Yeah.
Right. So there's not. No one asked Angela Merkel of Germany when she was chancellor. Yeah. No one asked her when she was chancellor of Germany. Hey, Angela, could you please help us in the rest of the world? We need Germany's help.
Yeah.
No one said that to all these leaders around the rest of the world. But
they go to Trump.
But this
I think what Israel did well in this case was they said, we'll take care of 99% of this. We only need the one thing that we don't have, which was those bunker busters.
Right. Yeah, they told them we'll take the heat. They told us we'll take the heat. Don't worry. Just
don't
come
get
in
involved. We only need one thing.
Right.
So, Dave, last Wednesday we talked about the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, and he's considered wildly the greatest president of all time, ranking presidents. And you know, I think Washington's first, and he's second. But if you were ranking them for, you know, this generation, if we're going from, let's go from Nixon, we'll go Kennedy on. Who do you think's the best?
Kennedy on.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
Really? Reagan? He didn't really do much, though.
He didn't do much.
Ended the Cold War.
He ended the Cold War.
He did? Oh, I thought that was Gorbachev. I didn't know that was
Gorbachev and Reagan met. They were in Vladivostok. Wasn't it Vladivostok where they met?
Yeah, but he had Alzheimer's near the end of his term. That's why it's not as.
No, it was a second term, and by that time,
I would say Reagan is probably.
I think Clinton's up
number
there.
One.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Outside of you're saying after Kennedy or including Kennedy?
I'm saying from Kennedy to Trump. How would you rank them?
Kennedy was great.
It was just short-lived. Yes.
Short-lived. There's Nixon.
Ford,
Nixon was
Carter.
awful. Nixon, Ford, and Carter were awful.
I mean, listen, it's not exactly the greatest hits. So
no, that's what I'm saying.
What you basically have is Reagan, Kennedy,
Clinton
is probably up there.
Clinton is way up there.
He's top 5.
I never really liked Bush. Did you put Bush up there?
Bush would have been up there if it wasn't for Iraq. He made a mistake.
Yeah, with the missiles, which they never had. Yeah, I know.
I would say Trump is up there.
Obama's up there.
Trump right now, in my mind.
I think Trump's number 1.
I would say that if you thought Reagan, to me, because Kennedy kind of short-lived. So
Trump came back from the dead.
Yeah, but you can't. No, it's true, but you can't rank Trump yet because it's an unfinished.
Right. It's an unfinished administration.
Reagan is one. Unfortunately for JFK, obviously, because he never really got to finish a lot of the things.
You would put him in the
kind of going off of,
2. Yeah.
What he was trying to do.
LBJ was the worst, I would say.
Trump is probably. Trump is probably 3.
Yeah.
right now. It couldn't end up being number one. And then, what is crazy is that, like, when you look at America, and yes, of course, slavery was terrible, but outside of the slavery issue, which is obviously an issue that looms over, when you look at what the United States had to have early on, what kind of presidents they needed in order to grow, so many of them were actually very good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, there's no way the country could have grown.
Well,
that's why I put Lincoln as one, because
most people do.
Yes, George Washington, father of the Revolutionary War. We had a common enemy, and the enemy was different. The enemy was not our brother. Civil War. I mean, the enemy was our brother.
Yeah.
We were fighting our relatives.
Yeah.
Families were split and killing each other. I think that was the toughest job that any president has ever had.
People say that
we've gone to war, we fought enemies, no problem, but to fight yourself internally, I think that is a tremendous task that Lincoln took on, and he solved, and he did. I mean, he persevered. He persevered. Let's put it that way.
Yes, he killed for it too. So
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so you would put Lincoln number one.
I would put Abraham Lincoln number one in our country's history. He's
not part of the list. So if the list I was going on, would you put Kennedy one?
I would put Reagan one. I would put Clinton two.
Reagan's
I would
not
put
one.
Kennedy three. Yeah, I would put Reagan one. No. Clinton two, Kennedy three.
Clinton. Oh, if he didn't get to the nonsense at the end.
Yeah, well, forget about the personal stuff. I mean, everyone gets hit.
Yeah,
you can't blame him for that.
I'm not blaming him for it. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. He's probably bored.
It was a blue dress.
I mean,
that's all it was.
Even with an unfinished, script right now, I would put Trump 4.
I would put him 1.
I would put Obama. I would put Obama 5.
Yeah.
Obama might be. Obama.
4 or 5. I would put Barack.
Yeah.
And again, I'm throwing generalities.
I disagree with that as well.
Why? You don't think he belongs?
No, I think Trump is 1.
Yeah.
Trump is 1.
That's hard. That's hard to do because
Trump came back from the dead.
Yeah, but I understand. But what if the country shits in the next 3 years?
It's not going to.
I understand that, but he won't let it.
He's a powerful leader. He will not let it shit.
What I do, I have to listen, I give him all the credit in the world. Like I said, the rest of the world comes to him to solve their problems.
If I had to rank him from what he did then until today, I rank him 1.
Yeah, well,
I rank him 1, and then I rank Clinton 2. And then Obama's 3.
Listen, the Cold War was
mythical.
It wasn't mythical. It was a rock that hung over this country's head for almost over 30 years.
So you were really scared during the Cold War, like you thought we could get bombed by Russia?
The country was on edge for almost 30 years, a little more. With the threat of on edge where people knew what DEFCON meant.
Okay.
No one knew it before DEFCON meant. All of a sudden, the United States is at DEFCON 3 because the Soviets have mobilized submarines off of Greenland.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about, hey, listen, what did we go through in school, in elementary school, in training?
Yeah, you did the missile drill.
You did the bomb. You did the nuclear bomb drill. You'd get under your desk, like that's going to protect you from the radiation and the blast.
Yeah, no, you get incinerated.
So that generation lived through that. I think that was so when Ronald Reagan met with Mikhail Gorbachev, I mean, that was revolutionary.
Well, that was ahead of its time.
That was like when China, when Nixon went to China.
Yeah,
in a way, you're looking. Oh my God!
If we went to North Korea and met Kim Jong Un
when Trump did that, that's in a way it's revolutionary. But North Korea is not on the standing like a Russia or a China is.
Right.
So you're talking about you're talking about Ronald Reagan going to meet Gorbachev and listen, we've got to talk about breaking this Cold War. We've got to talk about pulling back on this armament on both sides. We're going to do Star Wars. Remember Star Wars was the big thing when they were going to be able to shoot rockets out. And now we do have it. I mean, the Israel has it with the Iron Dome, which is doing a pretty good job. But imagine what we have that we haven't even talked about in this country as far as taking missiles out of the sky. So sitting down with Gorbachev and then getting Gorbachev to actually agree.
He did.
He did, and then go to the Berlin Wall
and get rid of that.
Take this wall down, right? I mean, that's that's
Historic.
That's a historic
Yes.
century kind of move right there. So that's why, for me, Reagan is one.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it's an unfinished book. But if Trump pulls off these 2 or 3 wild cards that are coming in as far as world peace and as far as economic development in this country and as far as getting back to a balanced, stabilized thought process, we are so out of whack right now.
Yes.
And again, we are always 15 to 20 years behind the European curve.
Yeah.
The Europeans
Yeah.
do it, and then all of a sudden it gets on a ship and it comes over here to us.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we've gotten on the ship is we've gotten all this overly educated, protesting, above superior thought.
We have entitlement
coming out of college,
education.
coming out of college that doesn't understand the actual process of steps of going through
they
life.
just think they're smarter than
They
you.
expect to walk in the room, and because they have a piece of paper from a fucking
Yes,
school,
here I have
that
Harvard.
they're automatically into the workforce.
I know more than you.
Right.
Yes.
They got a house. Remember Elmer J. Fudd? Remember Bugs Bunny? I'm Elmer J. Fudd, millionaire. I own a mansion and a yacht. I mean, that's basically what they're taught in college. They're like zombies, thinking they're going to come out like that instead of actually putting their nose to the grindstone. You know how many kids? I'm in business right now. I'm in food business, right?
You are.
You know how many kids I can get to clean out a sink or clean out a grease trap when they're 18, 19 years old?
Oh, they're horrible.
No, they don't want to do it. They look at me. They look at me like
a very poor.
They look at me like I asked them to wipe a donkey's ass.
Yeah.
You know,
Really?
just to do
Frank
basic.
has a very poor workforce.
No, it's not a very poor workforce. It's just that
That's why Johnny should have his own
They
pizzeria.
don't want to do it.
No,
They don't want to be told to do it. They want to have to do it. A manager right now in any kind of a restaurant is more of a babysitter than anything else.
Yeah, you have to be.
You're not a guy controlling the ordering. Maybe you will control the ordering and the payments and scheduling and all that. But bottom line, you are managing unmanageable personalities.
Yes.
People used to come into work, they punch in, they say hello, they go do their job, and they go home. Now when they come in, they punch into work, they get on their phone, they watch videos for 30 minutes,
and then
they go take a cigarette break. Right? Then they come back and they wait on 3 people. Then they go take another cigarette break. You know, they walk around. Right.
They'll go take a shit.
Right. And then they're going to come out and tell me that they worked real hard.
Dave, remember I told you Frank hates vacations? Frank's taken like 2 vacations in 10 years. And I've asked him this. I said, Frank, what if you take a vacation for a week? He said the pizzeria will blow up.
It'll burn down.
He said it'll blow down.
Well, you know what they kids perceive as working hard is not
nothing.
No,
nothing.
It's just wasting time.
They think showing up
is productive.
Is automatically like it's like a gold star. You showed up. It's like my kid to practice. Like,
yeah, congratulations.
Why are we running all this?
My kid is a lifeguard.
We didn't even run yet. We ran like one sprint. Why are you tired?
My kid is a lifeguard at a community pool. He's a senior, just graduated high school. He's a lifeguard at a community pool, first aid certified, lifeguard classes, everything like that. People love him. He's 6'8", 230. He looks like a man up there on the seat, right? He comes back after working 6 hours at the pool. He's like, oh my God, this job is so hard. I had to yell at this little kid to sit down. This one, don't touch that. Don't touch. This is rough.
Yeah, you're babysitting.
He has a job where he gets a break every 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's up on the chair for 15 and they have 3 lifeguards at the pool. He gets to go down. They go into a room where there's air conditioning. He'll have a little snack, drink something, go on his phone for 10 minutes, and then go back up on the chair for another 15. That's rough work for my son.
All right, Dave, let me ask you the last thing. Worst couple presidents from Kennedy on that you would list.
How many times can I list Biden?
Number 1 would be Biden.
Biden, LBJ, Nixon.
No, Biden 1. 2 is Carter.
Really?
Carter sucked.
Well, Carter became good after he was president.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He was a good liaison.
He had a rough administration, rough 4 years.
He was horrible. Try to think of 3.
Ford was real bad. Ford was Mulsanne.
Well, Ford was the vice president. He inherited it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But he was.
Ford inherited. He didn't do much.
Yeah, Bush I never liked. I'd put Bush up there.
Which Bush? Bush Jr.?
Nah, both of them.
I like Bush Jr.
Bush Sr. actually did a good job. The problem was the economy turned.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going Biden. Biden is 1 for sure. You don't think LBJ is 2?
Well, you're saying Kennedy. You're saying from Kennedy on.
Yeah, LBJ was after Kennedy.
Before
I
Kennedy.
mean, LBJ
No,
was
after
LBJ
Kennedy.
did some civil rights stuff. He's not. I don't think
couldn't
he's
get him,
worse.
Dave. I couldn't get him. I thought I had him.
LBJ is the ugliest president ever.
Well, number one,
LBJ never got
What's
laid.
his name again? L what? What's his name?
Lyndon B. Johnson. He never had sex.
What's his initials again? L what?
LBJ.
LBJ.
LB is in Blumpkin.
BJ.
You know who LBJ is. He took over for Kennedy
No, I know.
when he was assassinated.
I'm
Yes.
just being stupid.
I think LBJ needs to be ranked up there as one of the worst because he got us into the Vietnam conflict.
Yes.
We didn't need to be there. We took over for the French. It was ridiculous.
Yes, that's why I rank him.
Yeah, if I got to do it, I put
Nixon-
Biden one.
If Nixon didn't screw up, he could have been among the best.
Yeah.
Well, Nixon was just trying to get intel. I don't blame him.
No, he's just trying. He's just trying to control
Nowadays, that
it.
wouldn't even be a crime.
No,
he
I
was just
think
trying to get intel.
I think definitely Biden is one without a doubt.
Biden.
If I could vote Biden 1, 2, 3, I would vote Biden 1, 2, 3.
You could have put a 5-year-old
Right.
in and done a better job.
Biden would be number one. I'd have to say Carter because
You can't say
he
Carter.
came in. No, Jimmy Carter, number two.
You can't say him.
Why?
It's not fair
Why it's not fair?
because he turned his life around.
We were in a
The Iran
recession.
Contra, the
We
Iran
were in a
Contra
huge.
affair.
The inflation rate was
He got
huge.
attacked for that.
We sent in helicopters to do a job in Iran, and they ran into each other. I mean, that's a scar on his resume. Gas prices were through
But he
the roof
made up
because
for
of
it.
the,
Oh, is
because
that
of the
when you
air-
had to wait in line?
You had to wait in line.
Yeah.
There were gas lines. Literally, you could be number 40 in line to get a tank full of gas.
But he didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, he didn't mean to do that. I know. Well, normally presidents don't usually control gas prices. It's not how it works. But bottom line policy, world policy sometimes does affect the way things are priced out. But Carter
So
would definitely number
Carter's
two.
up there for you. huh?
LBJ is 2A. I would almost put him even with Carter.
And he was the ugliest.
I don't care about looks.
Well, yeah, I do. He was really
LBJ,
ugly.
and then Ford would be 4, and then probably, I hate to say it, I mean, probably Bush Jr. 5. I didn't mind Bush Jr.
No, Bush Senior would be the other one. He
Yeah.
only got one term.
Yeah, he only got one term, and you know what? It's like you said.
He
this- the
said no
economy
new
turned.
taxes, and he lied.
Nah, when he said he didn't like broccoli, that's what
Read my
fucked
lips.
everyone up. No new
Yeah,
taxes.
he said, "Read my lips, no new taxes."
No,
he
when
lied.
he said he didn't like broccoli, that fucked him up big time.
And then before he died, he was accused of groping women.
Well, at that point, it doesn't matter. He was
It
just trying
doesn't
to.
matter.
He thought it was railings. He was just trying to grab onto a tight railing. Yeah, no, I think that's it.
We'll have another presidential discussion.
Yeah, I don't mind
I
that.
disagree with all of you, but Trump is number one.
Stop.
Just so you know,
No.
I do
can't.
think if you rank Trump from what he's
Too
done
early.
until
Too
now,
early.
he's 1.
It's too early.
I think Clinton's 2, Obama's 3. Done deal. Can't argue.
You think Obama's 3, huh?
Yeah,
As far
Obama's
as the
3.
presidents, well,
Obama's 3.
Good for
Obama's
you.
3. Yeah,
good for you.
Obama's 3. The worst.
And Reagan's not even up there.
Reagan can be 4. The bottom, it's LBJ.
Yeah.
You know, LBJ because number 1, he had a huge nose and was ugly. Number 2 is obviously probably I'd have to go with George H. You know, because he touched people. And then Nixon probably.
Where does Biden come into this? Isn't Biden 1?
Oh, I'm sorry. Biden was 1.
Okay.
LBJ.
Thank you.
Biden. LBJ.
Let me recorrect you.
Yeah, it was
Please.
Biden, LBJ.
Yeah, I just
Biden,
think-
LBJ.
I just think it's you know what, being president ain't easy. You can see how it ages every person that goes into office. They go in looking decent. and they
Biden,
come out-
LBJ, Bush. Biden, LBJ, Bush.
But when the book is all said and done on Donald Trump, and someone
He came
writes,
back
they go
from
back,
the dead.
yes, but when the book is all said and done, and then you look at what happened in the 4 years under Joe Biden, and how he basically ran nothing, and how everyone
And
else
he worked from 10 to 3.
every one of his advisors was making policy
Yeah.
instead of the president.
And he
making
rubber
policy.
stamped everything.
Right. No,
I want a rubber stamp.
Oh, it was
stuff.
auto sign, auto pen.
I want a rubber stamp.
But so when you look at that, and then you compare it to They say that Dave, you've heard of this, where Donald Trump is cognitively he's declining a little bit.
No, he's not.
Oh, that's what they say. All the media says that, and all these liberals say
they're biased.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're telling me this is a guy who has met
He
and
solved
done policy
everything. He did
with
tariffs.
more world leaders in how long has it been now? 4 months? 4.5 months?
Biden did in 4 years.
In 4 years.
Yeah.
In 4 years.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, when you step back, if you're going to attack the guy because you're not a conservative, you don't believe, okay, I got you. I'm with you. That's the fair right of every American. But if you attack the guy and you tell me he's not working hard for this country, he's not going and doing deals that are going to be beneficial to this country.
His tail, man.
He's not working on international affairs to keep this country safe. Everything is based on this country. I believe he loves the country. I believe he loves the people of this country. I believe he's a patriot in a way. Is he greedy? Is he a billionaire?
He's a businessman.
Yes.
But Biden slept 15 hours a day.
Listen.
And he ate ice cream cones.
The Biden family made tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars.
So did Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, so you can't look at it that way. Everybody's got their hands in the cookie jar.
All right. Well, this has been a spirited episode. Great numbers, Dave. Wow. We're up to 345 now. That's incredible, just on YouTube. Very good. I blame it all on myself because I've engaged in some great arguments.
Yep.
And
you came out. You came out today. You made a statement today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gay. So everyone says I'm gay. So
fantastic.
Yeah, I'm gay Steve. Big gay Steve. There you go.
Big gay Steve.
Big gay Steve. Yes. Vote for me. For the voice of reason, Frank Cristiano,
right here.
Coach Schumann, who didn't yawn very much tonight. Didn't yawn very much.
Should I play some Lebanese music on the way out?
No, I just don't want the Islam guy to win for mayor. Can we stop that? Can we go protest?
There's nothing you can do. It is what it is. If it happens, I'm just saying.
No. We got to stop it.
I think people aren't seeing the big picture. I think they're seeing people making promises to them for their immediate needs, but they're not seeing the big overall picture. They're worried about losing their democracy. They're worried about losing their democracy.
We are educating people about the big picture, and that's all that matters. Every show. And that's why we do it. And we are on Ernie's station. Ernie exists, Dave.
Ernie does not exist. Ernie does not exist.
Ernie exists.
It's a joke.
Dave,
we
Ernie
know it's
exists.
a joke.
Okay? So, listen, Dave.
We know it doesn't work.
I want to do Robert Durst on Wednesday. Look up Robert Durst and see if we can do him on Wednesday. I have Maria tomorrow, and Frank isn't going to say anything.
Ernie does not exist. I want to see Ernie on this show.
Okay. So when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges.
What are we doing?
We're signing. We've been on for an hour and a half. Really? Take 2 oranges and shove them up LBJ's ass.
Is that Darth Vader? Well, that's Abraham. No, that's
just can we sign off now?